Hey everyone, Samba here. I'm going to be playing some more single player with the Bonos tribe, so that's the greenskins from the Samba Warhammer mod, and I'll have the Warhammer National Pop Type and PD mod turned on as well. This is the third video in that series, and we've basically finished much of our expansion. There is still some indies and things left, and we've run into various nations, and we're probably going to be kicking off with a bit more of a war with one. We've been at war with Ind, and I guess that's going to carry on. I think we hadn't done the orders for this turn yet, but we had looked at the results. That was in the previous video. Yeah, it looks like we haven't put in any orders yet, so let's get on with that. So we've got our war within going on up here. We've run into Agartha, the Skaven, and Vampiria down here. Vampiria have started moving into the water, and we did have a plan which we want to carry on with, which was Gorgzilla, our pretender. We're going to use him to travel over and start knocking over some of these islands because we've got Dominion here and they haven't got great defenders, and we've got a ring of water breathing that he can use to cross across there. So that is the plan. We have put in some orders clearly, but let's carry on. So over here we've got Blesses from Rat Splatter, the Forest Goblin Great Shaman, and then we've got a couple of bosses, so we're ready to go and attack Ind with this force. So let's script these up. So we've got Blessings for the Wild Boys, we've got some archers. You can go roughly near the front. We've got cavalry attacking rear. This is Savage Orc Boar Boys, who hit pretty hard, but they're not terribly tough. You don't want them in a kind of prolonged fight. But their charge is pretty good because they have a stone lance, which is like a light lance basically. And then they also have the boar tusk that gives a charge bonus as well. Then we've got some tougher, more heavily armored orcs here. We've got Orc Biggins, and we've got some Orc Boys mixed in with those as well. And then both of our leaders, I'm going to give them our basic script of hold and attack. We like to do that, so let's set up our leaders to do that. And we've got a giant. I'm going to kind of try and keep the giant out of this fight, so he's starting a bit further back because of his high combat speed. But he should be able to do some useful stuff. So I think let's just move straight into this swamp. And over here, this is our led by a prophet army. I think we can go and beat up a bunch of lion tribe. Doesn't particularly worry me. Yeah, I mean this is just a big mass of troops. Not very many War Boys left, and some of them do have afflictions, but being orcs, they have recuperation because orcs can basically, given enough time, regrow entire limbs and things. Let's just let's move on in this province as well. We had a palisades we were building down here, which is now constructed, and I am going to upgrade that to a fortress. But I also need to get a temple going there, so we definitely want to get a mage slash sacred over there, and he'll be able to build a temple for us and a lab when we need one as well. These guys were just defending this area so we don't get taken over or anything, and I'm keeping my eye on the vampires. I think they're the big threat to start attacking us. It's the vampires, so we're keeping an eye on that. Site searching has been going okay. We just got the Garden of Bones, which is again cool name, but it just gives you one gem. Do I need to go and search that? I'd just be getting death, wouldn't I? Yeah, so maybe I'll just get to this. And over here, he mainly was going to be a site searcher, but this is very strong combat magic. 3 nature, 3 air. It's very nice indeed. Could join them over there. What spells can we currently cast? Yeah, of course, it's protection. That's one that buffs troops. Regeneration, we could put that on the giant. That would be strong. Gift of Flight is, of course, very fun on the giant, but he is undisciplined. I think maybe let's go and just try that out. So we're going to go Regeneration, and we'll do Gift of Flight, and then just cast spells. The other nice thing about Savage Orc Great Shamans is they do have Priest level 3. And since I'm sending him into this fight, means he could do Divine Blessing, and that would pick up anything that had not yet been blessed by the Forest Goblin Great Shaman. Yeah, we don't really have anything to... I don't want to attack the Skaven right now. I really want to focus on getting in, so I don't have a strong compulsion to do very much with these guys. We'll separate them into melee and ranged. But let's just do a hold attack, I guess. Oh. You can just sort of hang around in case Vampire attacks us. It's not the best plan, but Wurzag, who is an incredible site searcher. Is there anything else that I want him to definitely be site searching over here? Well, I mean, you haven't got any sites in you apart from the Great Iron Mine that we found, so maybe just search over there. Are you set to run away if anyone bothers you? Wurzag has a little squig. You can hardly see him, but there's a little squig on the end of his staff, which was a previous rival shaman that he transformed. And at some point, I'm going to give him a spell, I think, just for Wurzag that can turn people into a tiny little squig. I think that'd be a funny thing to do. Bunch of archers. Let's just back up these guys. That's fine. Oh, we've got quite a few armies kind of coordinating at the moment, haven't we? Yeah, which is fine. Right, lots of money. Need to make sure we are getting constant recruitment over here. Let's start getting our research going. So what's a good thing to pump up our research? So 175 for 12, pretty exciting. 11 for 175. Different paths, of course. I think it's going to be Forest Goblin Great Shamans. So we'll just get Warboys, Great Shamans, and we can throw in some cavalry as well. Haven't got that many recruitment points, so we could go for Goblins. They're not that much in the way of recruitment points. Let's get a bunch of Spider Riders. And back at home, so we've got Great Shaman, Warboys and Goblins, and over here we can start getting, let's get an Orc boss. So I've coded the events for promotion such that there's a preference for promoting types of bosses that you don't already have. So, oh, Bruh 69, here we go, Yeah, welcome back, mate. There's a preference for promoting types you don't already have. So if you haven't had an Orc boss promoted to a big boss to a war boss, then you're more likely to get those events. So having a variety is actually quite good for getting promotions. So we've got the Orc boss, we can have one of those moving around. And let's give him some troops. So we can't do War Boys yet. We have quite a lot of resources. So we can give him the more resource expensive Biggins. I think that would be sensible. Let's go with that for now. We'll come back to that next turn. Okay. Caracol, the Beast Trainer, has claimed the Throne of Spring in the name of Warlord of the Mist, the Raging Princess, special regards. Beast Trainer, I think that's Nagarond, therefore. I think they're that commander's called a Beast Trainer. Okay, big lot of archers and not very much else. We should be fine here. We're a little bit vulnerable to the arrows because we're not super heavily armoured. Our big ones at the front are pretty well armoured though. And we should push through these not very strong light infantry with very little difficulty. And then when we do get to the archers, we should completely stomp them in combat, particularly because a lot of my guys are now berserking. Although at close range, these arrows do start to hit a lot. Yeah, but this is going to be quite one-sided, I think, now that we're in there. Let's speed it up. Bye-bye, Lion Tribe. Very nice. This is Ind attacking with a squad of Ictids. And they will be fighting some archers, some river trolls. I should re-script these so the river trolls aren't running ahead. That's not very smart of me. Because we've got the war boys and things too far away, basically. Well, you're dead. Oh no, they ran straight past him. Well, you're dead. Yeah. They might go and... Go on, keep going. He just vomits on them and immediately deletes that square. Say what you want about trolls, they do absolutely destroy things if they hit them. You know, they've got 2 attacks, the big stone axe and the bite, which hit very hard, and they've also got this area effect troll vomit, which is, you know, very good. I think... Cannot be repelled, only a chance of this weapon being used. I might limit the ammo on that, because it doesn't make sense they're constantly vomiting. Maybe they just get 1 vomit per battle. I think that might be a sensible change to make. Alright, so we defeat Ind there. And then we are also fighting, so here we've got our cavalry, we've got a big block of infantry, a lot of war boys, so pretty tough group. And of course we've got our giant with his extremely bright war paint all over him, and the jawbone of God knows what, some giant animal attached to his own jaw. It's more Ictids. Ind are really using a lot of independent troops here because, so unlike the Warhammer Nations where the pop type mod means that they will only have their own troops recruitable in the provinces, they don't get independent troops. The vanilla nations do get them, so. Didn't quite script this right, the giant's gone off ahead. I just want to see, because I completely forgot to correctly script my Great Shaman to do that regen. I just totally forgot. Did he actually cast regen on the giant? No, because it had run off by that time. So where did that regeneration end up? He just cast it on some war boys over there. Oh well. And Gift of Flight similarly is going to end up somewhere pointless. Yeah, so a bit better scripting would have helped me out there. The giant, he can grab and swallow, which is very strong. He can giant stomp, which of course area effect and hits very hard. And then he's got wild swings, and wild swings has 2 attacks, area effect 2, and does quite a lot of damage because he's just smashing stuff with his club and flailing around. In the Warhammer tabletop games, giants are notorious for just falling over, injuring themselves, just being clumsy and drunken in general. And to simulate that, he's got this area effect 2 attack, which means he can actually hit himself and friendly troops sometimes when he swings. So they sometimes kind of smack themselves in the face. Ball's going around the side. He's done really well, hasn't taken any hits, and of course he's got fear, which is very useful for making them run away in the middle here. Hopefully he doesn't end up hitting himself or any of my war boys. Yeah, this has gone great. Cavalry get the commander. Couldn't really ask for better than that, could you? Did we lose anything? 2 big uns. Children are disappearing. Brigands have taken up residence in a ruin in God's tomb. I think that's the one we have to patrol them out, but I can't exactly remember. We do have a patroller there, so it's fine. We'll just leave them patrolling. Okay, still not attacked by the vampires, but this is a hell of a build-up on my border. If I were in a multiplayer game, I would definitely be concerned about that. I think we had a little glitch in the stream there. Let me know in the chat if the video or audio is going wrong or anything. But it looks like it's working okay. Right, so let's throw a bit of province defense in these new provinces. This turn, you're right, Nob Grutnik. He's gone mad. He's gone mad and decided to research, which is very mad behaviour. Gorgzilla. Did we find a Ring of Water Breathing and I forged one? That is... Or maybe I... No, I made 2 of them, didn't I? Because I wanted a leader to lead some trolls as well. Okay. Have we got the trolls here? Question 1. We have some trolls. Grotnik. Skull Standard casts panic and gives you fear. Okay. Alright. I'd prefer something to help me with leadership to get these trolls to be more effective. Gorkzilla. So my pretender should now be able to go. He can go underwater. He can go and hit these islands. And then Grotnik with his trolls can't go underwater, so he can only make the crossings across these kind of river-style gaps, but he can do that. So the question is, would Wolf Tribe lose to that many trolls? I suspect the answer is probably no. We could give it a try. Militia, Archer, and Heavy Infantry. I'm pretty confident Gorgzilla can just go and annihilate any of these. This isn't really an issue. We can also cast Fire Shield. Strength of Giants is another very useful one for him to cast if he's ever in an army, but he's not at the moment. Scuttle Body, Fire Shield, wait, and then attack. And we'll put him at the back. That gives time for his tiny amount of reinvigoration that he has to help him. Well, reinvigoration 2 is not nothing. Right. Right, Grotnik. 6 trolls, can they do it? They don't have very good morale. No, I mean, a goblin is not the right thing to lead a bunch of trolls. Honestly, it's fine for him to have moved the trolls back here, but this is not the leader they need. Let's have Lil Git, who is literally just an F1. Could you forge something that makes us have more leadership ability? No, which one is it that gives inspiration? Maybe there isn't a low-level item that gives inspiration. Perhaps not. Well, we could recruit a leader for these trolls. What's the best leader we could recruit? Let's take the turn off doing the Great Shamans, and we will get... These are unreliable and have a malice to leadership, so I think it's going to be these two. Which feels like a bit of a waste, but you know, whatever. So the trolls will wait till next turn. Grotnik, you can just patrol with them. Gorgzilla's going to start his reign of terror over these islands. That's fine. Over here, we are still recruiting Great Shamans, and we are recruiting Wild Boys and so on. Putting up our forces. This is Ind. This is magnificent Ind. We have found it. They don't seem to have very much to defend themselves with. I think it's time we just go and crump them. Greenskid style. So the river trolls, I need to move back a bit. They were running ahead too much. The rest of this seems fine. They do have a lot of archers though, so maybe we actually don't want to be holding. Maybe we want to go and get them straight away. Just like a big mob and just run straight at them. I think that might be the correct play. Put the archers here. Yeah, let's give it a go. This is not a particularly strong army, but it'll be fine probably. Agartha. Do I want to start a war with Agartha? Not yet. So I'm just going to move back here. And then I think we are going to go for Ind with this force. Rat Splatter has to be left behind. That's okay though. We've got Gorsog to lead our troops. Morale doesn't matter so much for them, so I'll do that. And then I would like to get the regeneration and Gift of Flight onto this giant. The problem is they're undisciplined, so they just do whatever they want. But if I put him forward like that, the giant will run forward, and as he runs forward, hopefully Duff Bonestug will get those. The problem is that I need him to do the blessing now, don't I? Okay, let's do Divine Blessing, and then as the giant comes past, Hopefully we can throw a regeneration on him. And other than that, we'll just let him cast whatever he wants. It's fine. So I'll move him forward. You're on hold and attack rear, you're on attack. This is all fine. You're on hold and attack. That's not necessary. You can just go get him. And I think we'll have a go get him strategy here. Pretty much everyone. Cool. Off you go. Go take Ind. Tifianke, you're not really doing anything at the moment. Just wandering around, having a look. This is some more cavalry. I can move over here and pick this trollop. That seems fine. We definitely want you. Yep, you're coming over. Good. Right, Gorbad. Named after Gorbad Ironclaw, I guess. The most famous orc in history. Let's give you a defender. Bodyguard. Okay, Gorbad. Your job is just to patrol for now. And we are going to keep building wherever we can. More bosses? I don't think we have much choice. They're still generally quite useful. So yeah, just more bosses. And we'll start building some of this heavier cavalry here because we've got the resources to do it. So we'll get some just basic boar boys, I think. More site searching. It's a little bits of micros to do at this point, lots of moving people around. And we can recruit anywhere, which means you tend to have a bit more of that. Let's recruit some more gobos over here. Pick those up as we go by. Now, we still have a lot of money left, and I think I've paid for my mages and things, so potentially we could throw up another castle. That wouldn't hurt us. More palisades is good. Where would we want it? We could have something down here. Maybe one here would be good. Let's build one here next turn. So I'm going to get this goblin boss, and he can be on castle building duty. And yeah, we're still expecting the vampires to bother us at some point, so I'm going to buff up this PD. This is basically just to make them not want to attack us, because the AI doesn't like attacking into high PD. This is a kind of a way of managing their aggression towards you. So just put some of these up. Alright, how's the research going? Enchantment level 4 we're going for, because we want flaming arrows, obviously. We're going to have that soon. Haste is also okay sometimes, and Raise Dead is useful. After we're at enchantment level 4, where do we want to go? Well, I wouldn't mind trying out some of these spells. Forest Spiders, Spitting Spiders. Spitting Spiders are fun, so maybe I'll do Conjuration 2 just to get Spitting Spiders. And then I'd like to move towards Elementals. So at least lesser Elementals. Let's go to Conjuration level 3. Elementals can be really good for the greenskins. They can do air elementals, they can do fire elementals. Sip on my drink. Ooh, 2 sites. Whoops, sorry, that's a bit of a spoiler, isn't it, if I do that? Enchanted Tower, the Forgotten Crypt, we will look at those now, since I've already clicked on it. Wow, okay, 3 gems, all different types, very good. Decreases unrest by 5, very nice. That's just a great site to find. And Enchanted Tower, this is a really nice province, isn't it? I could have a fort here, to be honest. Let's put a Goblin Commander in there and maybe get a fort going. Anyway, rest of the messages. Battle in Ind. Oof. I don't think their Bless is very strong, otherwise I would be a bit more worried. Defense skill, Affliction resistance, bit of morale. I mean, it's not really a troop Bless, it does a bit of everything. But it's not particularly scary. I think we could win this. Scorpion beasts are quite nasty, actually. I think we'll lose some stuff, but Scorpion beast is going to get deleted by the Wild Boys. In goes the giant and kills a few of their sacreds. Yeah, our troop quality is just better here on the front line. And the giant's being really useful. These are quite difficult to use, and I've seen people kind of... They tend to die easily, is the thing. They don't have the best protection. If they get surrounded, they just get massacred. But as just an extra little bit for your army, they can really smash up some elite stuff, and they can give you that fear, which is very useful. I don't know if they're worth the gold, but I find them really fun as well, so I tend to make them. I think the one with the tattoos is better with the invulnerability, because he gets this, how much invulnerability? He's got 12, so the other one has a bit less protection than that, I think. And he has more magic resistance. I think the tattoos, or the war paint rather, gives him a bit of extra magic resistance too. So a rousing success against Int. That was pretty straightforward. Ultima Delca Int attacks. Lots of archers. They seem to like archers. A couple of their better sacred infantry, the Backlights. We've got quite a bit of infantry, and we've got war boys here as well, so I don't think this is going to be that much of a problem. The trolls go running past. Are they going to do something useful, like the giant did? Maybe. One of them just got hit with a smite, but they will regen, of course. They'll definitely kill some archers, but they're getting shot up quite a lot. Yeah, that might be... Yeah, that's faster than their regen can deal with, so one of them's dead. And the other one's running away, but he'll likely survive because of his regen. And it's going to be another archer massacre to end this battle. You love to see it. What kind of casualties are we talking about? Very high on their side, because they were attacking, of course. So we had some province defense helping us. We have lost. So we recruited a bunch of goblins. That's why it's doing this weird thing here, because some of them montagged into different types of goblins. That's just a strangeness of the way it's reported. Yeah, the only thing we lost that... I mean, 3 wild boys is not ideal, and a river troll. Apart from that, fine. The first forest. It's the boss man. Orczilla's first expansion into the islands. He's now got the horned helmet, he's now got fire shield, he should be even more effective than before. And he's got that bit of reinvig as well. Let's see. He is on fatigue 19. By the time they reach him, that should be lower. Down to 10, yep. So just that bit of extra reinvigoration is going to help them a lot in this kind of fight. And of course the fire shield. When they do get past the ore or the repel, the fire shield's going to burn them, which helps a lot. Yeah, great work. Not even close. Get some more kills. So what's his fatigue like? When he fights, he definitely builds up more fatigue, but it's manageable now with that reinvigoration. It really is. Unexpected events. Ooh, this is the lovely luck scales, luck and magic. It's nice for this. Unrest and misfortune. Oh well. A lab gained in Black Marshes. Cool. And then we got a couple of promotions. This is just bosses becoming bosses rising. A lab in Black Marshes. Well, rat splatter, the first thing you have to do is search it. So we definitely want to make sure that we crush Ind here, really keep on them. We've got a big army that we can bring in from this direction, and I think we're just straightforwardly marching in there. Let's just organize our troops. So, a bunch more gobbos. You are now capable of doing formations, I think. Yes, you are. So this is our front line. In fact, It's not quite our front line. This is our front line because they have a bit better protection. I'll stick them at the right at the front. Boff has got guys guarding him because he's the prophet. That's fair enough. Probably doesn't need that many people guarding him though. And he is now the better leader than any of these gobbos, so he can be the one giving extra morale to this troll. Okay. Grotslash and Redfang, you two can go and do other stuff. You are not needed here. Let's just send them off to where they may be useful. You two and Boffa move on. Right, Ind. I'm quite tempted to. Oh, I didn't check if he got that regeneration on. I'm gonna check that. I'm just out of curiosity in Ind. Did he manage to cast regeneration or anything sensible? So he casts Divine Blessing now. The giant runs past him. It's probably too far away now. He casts regeneration on 3 forest goblin archers. Okay. Alright then. You can make really cool like predictive placement of things to do buffing. I'm not very good at it, particularly when things are undisciplined. It's much harder. Much harder. Okay then. I think I will send a force, because we're not going to be attacked by anything that terrifying. I will send a force in to hit Van Legia. So I want something that can just beat up Province defense. And I think it's just Red Eye. So these orcs and this attacking rear, I think that will do it. So keep it simple. Go in there. Let's recruit some more troops here to help with this siege. So we'll take Grotslash. You can go and pick them up. What would be good for sieging? Well, siege strength of a goblin, which is only 5 gold, 0.6. If we move up to 8 gold to get a Savage Orc Boy, 1.2. So I would say the Savage Orc Boy is the better thing for sieging. So we'll get some of those. And Red Fang could also go and get some, I suppose. Red Fang can stay here and we'll pick up some from here. We just want some more boys to help siege. The Tickler? The Tickler twins? 2 goblins called the Tickler? Alright then. If you insist. Got enough of them. Let's get back to making our special lats. Our big special boys. Right. I think, Snickbad, you are our troll leader. Here you go. Your job is, I'm not going to send him off to fight. He's just got to stay, stay behind the troops. Their job, run ahead as fast as possible and mollywop whoever they can. So we're going to try and take the island. I'm not convinced by this, but I just like the idea of taking a bunch of trolls swimming across there. I think that's cool. And Blacktooth, you're going to start ferrying some troops for us, my friend. Yeah, just all these guys. Alright, off you go. Right. I think Red Fang was just staying there, yes. We were definitely going to build some palisades, but it's not time yet, so we'll just leave Nosebiter. We've decided to spend a bit of our money on other things, haven't we? Oh yeah, boars. Interesting. Give the archers to Grishnik, and then you can have the boars. Just stay there for now. Uh-oh. Not enough gold. Is this because of our rampant recruitment of random Orkies? Yes, it is. Where's our gold chap? You are the king of site searching. just methodically searching for sites. Yes, please. This is a Goblin Big Boss. And his job right now is to pick up a troll. Head up here to make sure we got enough people doing this war with against Ind, or do we prepare for another war? We could go after the Skaven, we could go after Agartha. I think Agartha is the more obvious choice here, so let's move into position, ready to bother Agartha. Against a human player, I would definitely be using the fact that the goblins can sneak a lot more here to attack province defense and stuff, but the AI can kind of see you when you sneak. It's quite cheaty about that, and it's generally just not worth doing in single player. You can do it to like sneak outside of forts and stuff. That's a sensible thing to do, but other than that, it's not very useful. Let's take the things that are in. So if I go 1, 2, 3, hopefully that will be in my Dominion by the time I do it. So I'll just move over there. Can you cast me anything good? Forest spiders. Number of effects 10 plus. Nature gems required 2. Very, very cheap to do forest spiders. That, in fact, may be a bit too cheap. Can only be cast by Forest Goblin Shaman or Forest Goblin Great Shaman, of course. Yes. And we have Vile Water that can summon gelatinous cubes if we have 2 water. But we do on him, but on no one else. You know what? I really like gelatinous cubes, so I'm going to do it. And I've got some various things we can cast in them. Do I really want to do it as a monthly ritual? Yeah, why not? Let's get a bunch of Vile Water together. That sounds orky. I don't think... And let's have some monthly casts. Well, no, I don't think it actually makes sense to cast it here, does it? We should cast it over there somewhere. Death 2? A lot of this has not been searched for Death 2. Let's go and search some of these for Death 2. Because I don't think... No, Wurzag doesn't like death magic, unlike some of the other shaman. You can go and scout now. Oh, look at that. Interesting. 2 commander points. I think I'm just going to get more of these orc bosses and kind of use them as infantry. So I'll have some people. I'll have some big uns to help them out. Because they're so cheap, you can kind of use them in a throwaway fashion like that until they get promoted up, and then they become a bit more valuable. Okay, that's fine. I was going to make a fort there. And at some point I'm going to make a fort over here, so I think, yeah, we've got one recruiting over there. Cool. Scoregrass-wise, still way ahead of anyone, and we're going to eat Ind, obviously. They're going to get jumped. Everyone else is kind of a bit stagnant. Research-wise, middle of the pack, not great. But we are starting to speed up with our research now. And this is just single player. I'd be a bit more worried in multiplayer with research that bad. This is the thing about taking an Awake Pretender with a pretty good Bless, is that you damn well should have good expansion. Bro 69, what else do I miss? Not even a minute in and I already need to leave your stream. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Well, of course, they go up on YouTube as videos, so you can always just rewatch anything you missed. But I took the capital off Ind, and no new heroes or anything turned up, but I have just started casting some summons and things, and we're just cracking on with the research, and we've started to move over the water to go and take those islands in the west. So we're casting Vile Water every turn. Let's look at our battles. Battle in Aretha. Oh, we've got some Koani. He must have spawned in this turn. So this is Gorgzilla, who's moved across the water. They should last okay. I don't know. I think they'll probably get killed because these guys have 2 attacks, which is good against ethereal things because they are relying on their ethereality to stay alive. So I think they're going to get killed relatively quickly. But I don't imagine that will be enough to cause a rout or anything. So his fatigue is just fine. He shouldn't have any problems here. His fatigue will go up. The only thing that could be a problem is these two barbarian lords. So we'll keep an eye on how hard they managed to hit him. So he's routed this group. They're chasing this ghost of a Koani. So they're actually kept out of the way. I think they're going to come back and fight me though. Here they come. So the only thing I was worried about. Oh, he's hit both of them, so they're probably berserking now, which actually makes them more dangerous. No? No, they didn't go berserk. Interesting. And he is going to kill them for sure. So we've got a combination of awe, fear, and fire shield here. Even though he's quite tired. And we'll get more tired. And repel as well, because of their short weapons. It should just keep him alive. Yeah, he's performed absolutely great in this game so far, and I think it's... Even though it's a little bit of a gimmicky build, I think it'll work in multiplayer. Okay, I am worried about this. It's 6 River Trolls. How many of them am I gonna lose, and am I gonna take the province? I think they'll do a huge amount of damage straight away and just crush this first line of people. And as long as they can survive a few turns to regenerate, they're okay. Okay, so one died. Yeah, one of them got obliterated. Oh, we killed the commander. Yeah, that's probably fine. Well done, River Trolls. I mean, losing one of them's not ideal. They do have recuperation, but they take afflictions and things, which I think one of them did. Or maybe not. You know what? They did okay. That's absolutely fine. Losing one River Troll, they're 45 gold. But, you know, they went and took a province. They would take buffs very nicely, I should say. Even though they are undisciplined, which makes them harder to buff. So Ind, again, it's some Ictiads, it's some archers, it's some basic medium infantry. It's not anything that I'm particularly worried about. We'll just beat them in a melee fight. We've got a River Troll, we've got, you know, plenty of Warboys that are very good at fighting. And actually, their archers are losing the archer duel because they don't have any armor at all. So this is more arrows than it looks like, because of course there's 6 of these to a square. So we've actually got a pretty decent amount of fire coming in on their archers. Inaccurate and not very powerful, but pretty good volume, you know. Chris69 says, good thing living in a different time zone is I can watch your live stream. That's true. People who live in the same time zone as me probably aren't going to catch it because I stay up quite late. I do the stream. You know, at the moment I'm doing it from 12 until 1 usually. So, you know, late at night. I am a little bit of a night owl, and I also don't sleep a huge amount. I don't know about this. This is speculative. This is basically, the hope is these do okay in melee and don't rout, and then the cavalry goes and takes the commander at the back, which is what's happening, so I'm not worried. Exactly, it's just how much stuff am I going to lose? Ah, they did rout. But I think that's all the commanders of the Ind forces. Yep, it is. Savage Orc Ball Boys are pretty good, aren't they? You know, these ones have got some stars, which helps them. Evergreen Forest, 12 air gems. Very nice. That's air elementals at the very least. High Niffy, weather is getting increasingly colder and unseasonal winter is expected. And we're starting to destroy Ind. And we have a goblin boss promoted in Fanglia. Red Eye, so he's a Goblin Boss rising now. You can see just the fact that they're rising doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get that promotion to be the next level of boss. It takes a few turns usually because it's a random chance each turn. Right, I can't go and take that one. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to expect that they attack me, and I'm going to dump in some province defense. Not that much, just enough. And with Red Eye's forces, that should be enough to win that. And then over here, you are going to help siege. You are going to site search. And this main force is going to split at this point. So the archers, I think I would just send to siege. So I'm actually going to put them into a single unit under Snick Stab, because I like to have a backup commander in case something goes wrong. They'll move over there to take that. Crooked Git will move in here. Red Fang. So this is just more sieges, basically. Get moving. Now, down here, I don't need a lab. I can recruit my mages without a lab, but they can't research. They'd have to start moving around. Now, that's okay in the short term, but I actually have enough gold, and I would like to be able to cast things down here, so I am going to build a lab. And we have a ton of commanders spare at the moment, which is nice. So I'm going to just give these the basic hold and attack script. And I'm going to send them out, and I'll probably recruit some more troops to hang out with each of those, but for the moment they can just hang out in the provinces and give them a bit of extra beef in case they get attacked or something. And I'll leave some troops patrolling here. So what mage do we want? For pure research, the Forest Goblin Great Shaman was great for us, so I think I'm just going to go with that. And we'll put repeat recruitment. And of course we can get some more War Boys, so we'll have some more War Boys. I'll save the rest and just decide on a turn-by-turn basis what I'm doing with that. Great site searching tour continues. You are still waiting to build me a castle. You are site searching Death 2. You are ferrying troops. Right. Can we go and take some heavy infantry and heavy cavalry with our trolls? Heavy cavalry are... They're both a good and a bad target for trolls. They're bad because they hit very hard and they will quickly kill a troll, and it won't give it time to regenerate. And trolls don't have very good defense, so the heavy cavalry will kill them. They're good against heavy cavalry in the sense they can hit very hard and they can throw up on the heavy cavalry and ignore the defense and do a lot of damage and get past the protection. So it's kind of a they'll both kill each other sort of situation. It's not ideal to go and attack the heavy cavalry there, I would say. So I think what I'll do is I'll head back to base. Gorkzilla will move here and hit them, and then we've got Gartha. Interesting. Gartha's ended up here. Where have they wrapped from? Hold on. So Gartha's here. And also here. How strange. How big is Agartha? Oh, that's research. I mean, one of the bigger ones that isn't me. Who's this? Oh, that's Ashdod. Yeah. So the ones that are doing really badly are Marignon, and of course Ind, because I'm eating them. Isn't that interesting? What? Very strange. I think. I mean, my God will go and look at that. I think that I just need more trolls, and then I can do heavy cavalry. It's inefficient, but it will work. So if I go back and get more trolls, so let's summon up some trolls. How do we do that? Can Grabtooth summon them? He can. Entice river trolls. How many do I get? 6 gems, and I get 2 of them. It's not great, is it? Maybe that should be 5 gems for 2, something like that. I never quite know how to price these very low-level summons. But I like river trolls, so I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast some river trolls. Yeah, I could get some crocodiles, big old cronky boys. They can also swim. Crocodiles might be quite fun. They scale with nature magic, so I could have Nobgritney cast some crocodiles. Let's build an amphibious army. What do I prefer, more crocodiles or river trolls? River trolls. So, yeah, Snickbad will come back and get them. You know what? I'm going to rename you. Snickbad Stampad. He's going to be called Waterboy. He is Adam Sandler. He is Waterboy. Bro69 says, what I love about watching Your Nation overview. I can't afford to pay for a PC, let alone Dominions 5. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Is reading the different troops and commanders' descriptions. Yeah, you know, I try to make sure I will click on stuff so you can read through the descriptions and things. If you get a chance to play Dominions 5 and play with the mod, it's one of the more fun things about it is that it's very flavoursome. You know, I've used a lot of the some of the stuff is kind of taken from various like Warhammer sources, but it's all obviously inspired by it. Some of the things I've changed a bit to put them into Dominions, but it's that cool flavour. There's a lot of stuff you can read online about Warhammer, which is there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Nose biters waiting to. Those are waiting to build things. What? How did they get over there? I don't understand how Agartha got over there still. Okay. I think we've moved everyone we were going to move this turn. We've spent a lot of our money. Feeling strong, feeling orky. How long has our stream been? 52 minutes. Let's play a couple more turns. One of the nice things about streaming games, obviously, is it's a nice way for people to experience games if they don't have access to it, like if they don't have access to the console or a PC or whatever to play the game on, or they can't get to it for some other reason. You know, it also lets you just like watch someone play a game while you're on the bus to work or whatever if you're watching on your phone. Some people don't really play that many games but watch a lot of streams, which is something that I think wouldn't have made any sense to people, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but now is completely normal. And I have to say, does make sense to me. There's a great enjoyment in just watching somebody do something and kind of. It lets you don't have to fully concentrate on what you're doing. You can just kind of listen to them or watch them play it. It can be a really fun way of enjoying it. So we've summoned some stuff. We've got a battle in Tifalia. Is this? Yes, this is Gorgzilla. So this one should be really straightforward. Let's put this on turbo speed. Cool, he killed the only thing that could hurt him very early on there. You know, I don't even think the Fire Shield's doing much there, because they so rarely actually attack, and the fact that he's got the Horned Helmet means he can kill 2 things around now. And the Fear does the rest. It's worth bearing in mind. It would be good if he was being attacked by things that had very high morale and weren't very strong, like a Swarm spell, Fire Shield to get against that, or loads of Long Dead, like it would let him deal with that. Vangilia! Bong! This is in seemingly their best remaining army. We've got a bunch of their archers and a bunch of their infantry. Soldier Priest and Mirror Guard. Mirror Guard are their higher quality dudes. So I think I'll lose this one, but we'll see. We should hopefully kill some stuff. Orc Cavalry is going to struggle there, I think, and get killed. I do love this attack animation. Let me pause it when they do one of those. There we go. I love that. It could have been such a simple sword swing, but he made it kind of a fencing style pose. Well, those boar riders have done surprisingly well, and now the goblins are here. They will take a lot fewer hits as well. Oh, another one just died. So our orc biggins have reached their archers up at the top of the screen there. The orcs have run. Are you going to get a kill? Nasty skulkers. Yeah, he's been stabbing people, you see? Don't underestimate the nasty little gobbos. I think we've lost this, but yeah, the goblins are going to run now. And I think the orcs are going to run pretty soon too. But they'll kill a few more archers first. Oh, not running yet. So these troops are a little tired, but not that tired, and the goblins have run, so we have lost this. But we did kill a few, and their troops are a very limited resource now, much more so than ours. This is an easy one, just stomping out some of these slingers. Let's just turbo through this. Bro69 says, I swear Games Workshop make a mistake when they cancelled Fantasy and replaced it with Sigmar, especially with the success of Total War Warhammer. I think you're right. I think it probably was a mistake. So there he's talking about the switch from Warhammer Fantasy Battle and the Old World, what people called Old Hammer, over to Age of Sigmar, which is their new IP. That was some years ago. I can see why they did it. A big reason for them doing it is that they kind of wanted to wipe the slate clean in terms of copyright and things. They didn't want to be a knockoff of Tolkien type stuff, traditional high fantasy orcs and goblins and stuff, D&D, Tolkien. They were already quite different from that, but the words they were using to describe things weren't, dark elves, high elves, orcs, goblins. And they wanted to have these new terms, which are very similar, instead of elves, it's elves. But they wanted to kind of create a new setting because it's legally distinct. That was a big reason for it. And I think that their audience was kind of aging out, maybe. They wanted to attract a newer, younger audience. And I think they've been somewhat successful. Some people really like Age of Sigmar. I just don't really know very much about it. I'm not going to criticize it. I think it was weird when it came out as a tabletop game when it first came out, and it didn't really have proper rules. It's like, oh, just do whatever. Like it had some rules, but it didn't have points costs and stuff. Some of the models for Age of Sigmar stuff are incredible. I will say that, like the Idoneth Deepkin, the like underwater elves, they look superb. If I were going to add an Age of Sigmar nation, which I'm very unlikely to do, but if I were to add one into the Dominions 5, I would do the Idoneth Deepkin as an underwater nation that could just come out onto the surface. I think the way they handled it, the idea of them, they live underwater, but when they come onto the surface, they're in the ether. They're still in like a kind of weird magical underwater, but on the surface. Lets you have, turtles swimming through the air and elves swimming through the air and fighting people in a graceful way. It's a really cool idea. So that's definitely what I would do. Goblin Boss has been promoted to Big Boss, so we get some free troops there. A witch, while suffering her sentence of death by lapidation, which I believe is stoning, she uttered a dark curse over the land. And Jelinagora, a vengeful crone, has cursed the land. Lots of witch action going on. David says, in Age of Sigmar, the horrors of the deep sea come to you. Fantastic. Yeah, they're beautiful models. I recommend if you have never seen the Idoneth Deepkin, that's, I believe, what they're called. I may have the pronunciation not quite right there. Go and have a look at those models because they're beautiful and they make great Dominions troops. They really would. So we're beating up the walls in inns. That's great. Our research is going okay now, isn't it? It's kind of cracking along. We have level 4 enchantments. We can do flaming arrows. Do we have good flaming arrows casters is the next question, because I haven't really been focused on that. Well, we've definitely got our god. He can cast flaming arrows. Agartha must have gone. like here, and then just across the water ended up here. It's very weird. It might be time to attack them now. We are the orcs. You know what? It's good for us to bite off more than we can chew. That's how you get bigger if you're an orc, is you bite off more than you can chew. Let's do it. Let's take on these big boys. Have we got anything better we can cast? I don't think we got anything specifically better we can cast. No, we got flaming arrows, which isn't really relevant. That's fine. One Koani. What about our wonderful swimming army? Did gelatinous cubes swim? No, but they're amphibians, so same difference. Do I fit crocodiles in with river trolls? Combat speed 7. Combat speed 18. Okay. Something like that. I think that's still... Yeah, let's try that. He can't lead that because it's magic, but we could have... We'll build up some more gelatinous cubes and do something fun with them, I promise. So, Water Boy. Maybe go and hit that up there so I don't have to do the heavy cavalry. And that way I can also give you another troll as you're passing along. Back here, who is our Vile Waters caster? I think it's you. Yeah, because Vile Water is 2 water. So let's do that. We've got a lot of air gems that we could do something useful with, presumably. We can cast, if we get Phoenix power, so let's make sure we get Phoenix power, which is Conjuration level 3, which we're going to get anyway. We can cast Flaming Arrows by using gems, so it's not really a problem. What would we like after Conjuration level 3? Gigantic Forest Spiders seem fun. You know what? Gigantic Forest Spiders, Conjuration 4. We need to move towards the big elemental spells anyway. They're so good for the greenskins. You know, big full-sized air elementals and full-sized fire elementals are so strong. They are definitely going to come and retake their cap. The AI is very predictable on that front. I would be absolutely shocked if they didn't. So we'll just go and hit them here and make sure they are dealt with. You should do some site searching, and I'm going to be careful and put you on retreat. You can help do some sieging. Well, and help in this battle over here, I guess. Zug Zug. It's a Warcraft reference, right? Oh no, that's Zug Zug that they say. Stop poking me! Palisades? Yep. Very happy with how all this is going. That's fine, you can just patrol. Patrol, these are just here, they'll build up experience and at some point we'll use them for something. That's our not very precise plan. Mech Grot, can you cast anything good out there? Forest Spiders, better to cast that with a big nature mage, really. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get you to do a site search. So we're going to go to war with the Gartha, right? That's the plan. So we definitely want to juice up some of the... I didn't realize I had a lab. Oh, that was a lab that we just found through an event, I think. Cool. So given that, maybe we want to start hitting Agartha. Is this strong enough to take Agarthan province defense? Let's find out. This will have dealt a crushing blow to Ind, and then we'll be able to move our forces over here and deal with Agartha. That's the plan, at least. We can certainly move some guys out of here. We've been building up quite a force. So he's got good leadership. You've got 35. The Tickler, one of the many the Ticklers. Not my preferred way to have a battlefield leader, but because of his bad leadership, you know, we're getting this loss of morale, but it'll do. Your job is to cast Blessing. And that's pretty much it. Although we can get nice buffs on these guys. What other buffs could we throw on them? Oh, we've got three air there. Backstabber. What can you cast? We've got Gift of Flight can be really good, really shockingly good. False Fetters can also be very useful. Okay, Eagle Eyes and False Fetters. And we'll put them just slightly forward. No, because we don't have quickness or anything like that. We've got a few other things that could be of interest, but which two was it? It was Backstabber and the Tickler. Backstabber and the Tickler, that is a horrible sitcom right there. Spiderfang. 69 says, I don't like how many soldiers surround Zogzod. Is that how you spell his name? Where was Zogzod? Oh yeah, down here, Zugzog. Yeah, he is. You would feel worried, wouldn't you? That would make you a nervous orc. But he is kind of. He's not super important to our plans. I'll put it that way. You know, he's somewhat sacrificial. I guess you're right. There's no point in losing him. So maybe that's the province that's most likely to be attacked. Maybe I'll just step back slightly. That's a reasonable concern. Wurzag. Basically just earth searching everything. Let's. Oh, that's already been earth searched, hasn't it? Yeah. Let's move over there. Spike Nose goes to there, and Blacktooth has finally reached where he's going, nearly, and will be reinforcing us. I think that's it for this turn. What I'm going to do is end this turn, as is traditional, just look at the results, and then I think that'll be the end of the stream. So let's see what our turn is looking like. Then we'll have another stream in a few days' time, probably. Found a magic site in the God's Mountains. Thunder Oak, I believe that's just air. Air 1, maybe Air 2, I can't recall. Monarch Woods, this is our god attacking Agartha. Terrible province defense here, so I can just turbo through this. Off he goes. He's like the car from Back to the Future. The DeLorean. Banded Hills. This one a lot more speculative. And they have better province. How annoying. I really wish they would have had just rubbish province defense there. So, are we going to win? Our morale is quite bad. And Spider Riders are not the best in combat. There is a troll here to help them. Oh god, they died so quickly. We could still win this. The troll kills those two over there. The Goblin Big Boss, look at that. Kind of thugging it at the front. He's doing okay. I'm not liking the casualties that much, but we will probably get through this infantry. Yeah, they're very poisoned as well. Let's put the speed boost on, see how we do against these archers. I think we're running. Yeah, we're running. And we've got one Berserk Warboy just run off on his own. He just got stabbed by this attendant with his little butter knife. Oh well. That was a very speculative thing to do in the first place. So what we didn't lose the big boss unless he died in the retreat, so let's check. No, he was fine. We lost a Warboy, we lost some Spider Riders. They're only 18 gold, they're very cheap. Fanaligia. Bro69 says the Dominion spider sound is very annoying. It's true. It's a kind of a horrible. There are worse sound effects in the game, but it is kind of annoying. I could turn the volume down a bit if that's helpful. Let me know if that's too annoying, and I'll turn the volume down on the spider sound effect. I mean, on sound effects generally, there's no control just for the spiders. But yeah, them going wee 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 is a bit unpleasant. So infantry have done great. This is the end of Ind. This was kind of their last hope to free their capital here, and this force has now been destroyed. I thought they were actually going to move on to their capital, but they just didn't. What did we lose? 3 Orc boys, 3 Wild boys. They do die a bunch, Wild boys, but they are cheap, 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 cheap for a blessed, for a sacred unit. A goblin boss has gone up. A goblin boss has gone up. Wow, they're all getting promoted in Fanlegia. A renegade wizard hanged from an oak. Another. This is our luck scales, just given all these free labs. Luck has increased worldwide. Doesn't help us. I suppose it might do, actually. The walls are severely damaged, but still not gone. So, we got, was it 2 promotions in Ind? Look at all these free troops. Yum, yum, yum. So, archers separated out. Goblin infantry. One of the slightly annoying things about all these different goblin weapon types is you can't double click on them to select them all, but I can't really complain about it because I did it, you know. It's my mod. If I don't like that, I should get rid of it. But I think it's an okay trade-off for the kind of chaotic look that it gives them. It fits the theme very well, doesn't it? Right, archers. More archers for the archer blob. You can have a formation now, isn't that exciting? Put them in a line. Line formations generally pretty good. Gorsog. Oh, he's not rising yet. Okay. Alright. Well, I said I was just going to look at the battles and things from that turn. We've started a new war with the Gartha. They've got lots of stuff, so this war at first might go quite badly. Look at this. Look at all these lovely cave grubs. Yum, yum, yum. We're going to feast on those. Let's see how a war with the Gartha goes in the following turns. Thanks for watching, particularly Bro69 and David. Thanks for commenting. And I will catch you next time. Bye for now.